Hello, my night owls. Welcome to this late night play review with you boy. Tonight we're going to be looking at Clybourne Park, which was the one of many follow-ups to another play called Raisin in the Sun, or shortened to Raisin. Now, it's a very interesting play. It's focused on racism, as many things I will be doing videos are, because that's one of the points of this class. So what happens is that it's the same, it takes place in this neighborhood known as Clybourne Park. It starts in 1959. Bev and Russ Stoller are packing up their house to move to a new home in a white neighborhood. Wow. Bev and Russ's marriage, however, has been falling apart. Russ is depressed. Bev has no way to cope with her husband's depression. It's a lot. It's also very heteronormative. She asked the local pastor, Jim, to stop by and see if he can help with Russ, and it doesn't work. Plot twist, right? But you didn't see that coming. About midway, halfway, something like that through the first act, Bev and Russ's neighbors arrive. Carl, spelled with a K because that's necessary, and his wife Betsy. And Carl hides his reason for visiting, initially, but he admits that he already knew that the family that bought the house next door was black, and he was gonna try and stop them from buying the house. And this is probably gonna sound really familiar to some of you. Cough, cough. Raisin. Cough, cough. Anyway. Albert, Francine's husband. Wait. So, yeah. Carl has an argument, and Kenneth, with Russ and Bev. Kenneth is their kid. He expresses his indignation at being called on to protect the community that isn't welcoming them, and he's like, this is some bullshit, what the fuck, and I don't blame him. Francine comes in. Her husband Albert takes her home, but he gets roped into helping move a footlocker of Kenneth's, and they get in a conversation around whether he and Francine would ever move into a white neighborhood, because we've seen how well that goes. And, Russ eventually drives Carl and Betsy out of the house, thankfully, because those two are being bitches. Jim, Francine, Albert, everyone leaves except for Bev and Russ. That is when they stop and consider their future in the leisurely suburbs. Now, that's the general summary of Act 1. I found this play very interesting in how it time skips. The second act starts in 2009, but we'll get to that in a hot second. So it's a really interesting play. I like how it plays back on Raisin in the Sun and how there's a lot of reference to it very clearly. I also like how it confronts the ideas of racism, because that's very obviously one of the main themes in this play. And it's still a very controversial topic. And it's just wild to me. Okay, anyway, second act. Sorry about that. Takes place Saturday afternoon, 2009. Lena and Kevin, a black couple from the Clybourne neighborhood. Guess what? It's a black neighborhood now. They've made plans to meet with Lindsay and Steve, who, you guessed it, are white. They just bought Lena and Kevin's house. So both the couples bring their lawyers to the meeting. Lena and Kevin's lawyer is named Tom, while Lindsay and Steve's lawyer is named Kathy. Girl. She's rough. Together the couples, everyone. Couples don't know the legal word, so it's mostly the lawyers. Lawyers try to propose a set of restrictions on what can and cannot, be changed about the house, because these people are selling their house. They're like, hey, don't fuck it up, please. It's a very specific house. It was made this way for a reason. Please don't not fuck up. And she's rough, but the conversation doesn't actually ever get on track to get off track. It starts off with small talk, hi, what's up, how the fuck, what you doing, what's good. Just kidding, they didn't talk like that. And yeah, they talk about the historical value of rather like that versus the economic value, and how it's like pricing them and other black families out of this neighborhood. So it was a white neighborhood, now it's gonna be a black neighborhood. It is a black neighborhood, and now it's gonna be a white neighborhood again because it's getting expensive as fuck. And like, hi, I probably couldn't live there. I love debt. And after that, Lindsay and Steve feel kind of personally attacked because they're like, I'm just trying to buy a house. It was for sale. I'm sorry. I don't know what you want from me. And I don't know how I feel about that, but it wasn't on the rails to begin with, but it goes. I don't know where it would go if it was never on the rails, but it goes out the fucking window. When Steve tells an inappropriate joke, and then keeps telling even more and more and more inappropriate jokes, like more and more offensive. Which, they almost throw hands. I'm gonna be real with you. Honestly, I wish they would have thrown hands. I'm here for it. However, Dan is a contractor, by the way. He's been here kind of the whole time, just chilling in the backyard, digging, because that's what contractors do, I guess. I don't know, their work a contracting job. We'll find out if I ever do. Anywho, Dan comes in and asks about a trunk he finds buried in the yard. Now, if you remember, we were moving Kenneth's footlocker. Keep that in mind. The trunk belongs to Kenneth. Wow! Plot twist, am I right? And then, in the final moments, like the very, 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 very end of the play, Dan opens the trunk and reads Kenneth's suicide note. And then, as the note is read on stage, Kenneth descends the staircase in the year 1959. He sits by a window and writes his suicide note. Beth comes in and asks what he's doing. He tells her he's gonna go to a job interview, and she says, I really believe things are about to change for the better. And that was just a really intense ending to this, and I was not prepared for it. We'll see if I can get a longer video done. We've been having some technical difficulties on my end, so we'll see how that goes. Sleep well, my night owls, and thank you for listening.